Now to an Eyewitness News investigation into what's essentially becoming homeless encampments on wheels. So-called Vanlords are renting out RVs to people who are now using them as their permanent residence. Who's behind these rented rides and is doing this even legal? Here's Eyewitness News reporter Christian Cordero.
In the shadows of Mount Hollywood, next to studio lots and the LA River, sits one of the city's fastest growing neighborhoods. Zoned for open space and commercial use these days, Forest Lawn Drive is almost entirely residential.
When I became homeless is during all the rain, so it was really, really rough.
Lorna and her dogs live in a parked RV on Forest Lawn. She moved here after what she described was the worst week of her life, sleeping on the streets during a winter storm after spiraling into homelessness. Her RV is one of 70 along this 2-mile-long corridor, 70 of an estimated 4,000 citywide.
As areas get cleaned up, it kind of just gets more and more concentrated in these industrial areas.
Tyler Stratton owns a business in an industrial part of Chatsworth. He worries about safety every day.
Not only safety for violence necessarily, but as you're picking up trash with the fentanyl crisis as well and drug use, that's also a prevalent thing. So you're also keeping that in the back of your mind. Am I touching anything that I could potentially get exposure to?
Tyler remembers this entire area having 4 RVs before the pandemic. Now, this stretch alone has more than double, and just about every RV is occupied by a renter. People are paying to live here, like this.
I only pay $400 a month because it was a friend of a friend. You know, a lot of people pay a lot more than that. And I have an income. I just can't afford rent.
You have an income?
Yeah, I work full time.
Vanlords, as LA City Council member Tracy Park calls them, typically buy RVs at auction, then either drive or get them towed to their location of choice. They're often parked illegally or hooked up to rogue power systems and are in the Wild West of rental agreements with neither landlord nor tenant protections.
A lot of times the inhabitants of the vehicle don't know the name of the person who they rented it from. They don't have valid contact information. A lot of these vehicles are not registered. They're not adequately insured.
Using the restroom isn't an option in these RVs. Some tenants use gyms where they have memberships. Others use their imaginations. And yet the economy behind this business is robust. An entire network of Vanlords exists with applicants eager to call these 4 walls on wheels home. Greg William would know. How do you find tenants?
Craigslist, Airbnb, word of mouth is probably the most common one.
He has bought and rented out RVs to the in-house for almost a decade. Says he owns 15 of them now scattered around town and charges between $600 and $800 a month.
I work with them and I kind of almost do sliding scale. So basically whatever they can afford is what I work with you on.
How much would you guess that you are making?
It just depends. Like one month I could make $2,000, next month I can make $8,000.
Greg sees himself as a homeless advocate, despite that he's also capitalizing on it. He tells us he was once unhoused.
All it takes is a couple of things in life to shoot you downwards. I would be there to help. So based on that principle alone, I feel like what I'm doing is the right thing to do.
Ethically, he's convinced. Legally, it's not that simple.
Businesses are regulated very stringently in the county of LA. And it seems like that would be something that officials would jump on pretty quick.
The concept as a whole is at the very least controversial, in some cases not legal. You're nodding.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been through it all. I've been through all the tows, I've been in and out of court.
Courts have ordered Greg to move his campers, which means they pop up in a new location. Enforcement otherwise is a dead end. Councilmember Park says there's a moratorium on towing these types of RVs because of a pending lawsuit. Even the threat of doing so gets divisive quickly for fears of criminalizing homelessness. So she's taking a different approach.
We're working to change our municipal code to cover the sale and leasing of RVs on our public streets.
Her motion would require RVs meet stricter standards before sale. It would directly impact Greg Williams' business, which he says he's fine with, if that means ending homelessness. As for Lorna, the city has offered her transitional housing. She turned it down before ending up here. Lorna is no longer looking for a place to live because she no longer considers herself homeless. What can the city do to make it better for you?
I've thought about this a lot. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Christian Cordero, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC 7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And download the ABC 7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.